Okay, so we have our jump created, right? And let's just maximize this left viewport by hitting the space bar. And I'm gonna middle mouse track back to kind of see my character there. And just position it there. Now let's play it for a little bit, and yeah, I need to frame my camera a little bit further back so that we can work on the translation now. If you notice, it looks like the character should be moving. It's almost like as if the character was jumping on some kind of course or an object. So how do we translate this next? So let's start by defining our first and last position. And for this reference, I'm going to zoom in a little bit using my middle mouse. And I am going to pretend use this middle guide of the grid that is kind of darker on my left view. And I'm going to grab that controller on the bottom, the global controller, the one that moves everything. And with my move tool over here, I am going to pretend that the character is going to come from left to right of that line, okay? And this is just for example. So I'm going to start on frame 1, and I'm going to grab that controller there that moves everything. Oops. The controller. There you go. And just move the character back, okay? And I'm going to press S for placement. And as we said before, on frame 25, we're kind of duplicating the same pose, but in this case, it will be over here on this right side of that, divider grid reference line. So I'm going to move it right and press S on frame 25. Okay, so I middle mouse there. And with my move tool, I already moved my character and press S. And right now it's going to look like it's kind of sliding, right? Like that. Good. The only problem we have is the feet. Notice, how the feet kind of slide and then goes up and then looks like it's going well until it touches ground again and slides again. Okay, remember that chart that we were using. Notice how the the speed, not the speed, the curve, creates that is created by the movement. That's the movement we're suggesting here, but the feet seem to be needing a little bit of anchoring. Okay, so let's say, when are the feet are going to start getting up? Probably frame 5. So from what we see on the poses, so let's press S on frame 5. That's when it starts rotating more, like going on the toes. And so far it works okay, but it still slides forward. So let's see a new tool that that's going to help you edit the keyframes. Let's go to Windows, Animation Editors, Graph Editor. Okay, and you see over there the curves. These curves indicate where the keys are and their value over time on the timeline. The timeline numbers are down there, and it tells you, makes a little chart of what your values is per key that you have set over time. Okay, so what I want to do is get that translate Z curve. That's the one that's moving the character to the side, and I want to make sure that this key and this key remain the same, because I don't want that to shift forward until the character starts jumping off. Okay, so let me show you how you can do that. So I'm going to go to frame 0, and I want the translation to be the same that is going to be on frame 5, and that's why I set an initial key there so that I knew exactly where I needed to go. If you look over here, you can see on frame 1, what's the value of your key, and on frame 5, I'm sorry, we had to select it here. Frame 5, you can see the value of your key. So what I want to do is select that first frame in key 1 in the frame number 1 and copy, Control C as in copy that value and then paste it into this guy. So I'm going to click on that key and I'm going to go here and select that and press Control V for paste, copy and paste, and press enter. Did you notice that the character did a shift back? So now let's see how that looks. Now it has the value at the same position from frame 1 to frame 5, and on frame 5 then starts moving forward. Great. Wonderful. Now on frame 13 I need to make an adjustment there because I want him to be somewhere here in the middle. Okay, so I'm going to move the character forward on the main controller there and press S. And the reason is that I want him to jump a little bit faster. So he goes on frame 5 and then he moves forward, and then on from frame 13 to 25th the same thing happens. We need to see what happens when is it that he touches ground. So that notice the feet, take a look at the feet. On frame 21 to frame 25 it slides again. So let's see when is it that the heel touches ground. Let's say that is right there, okay, on frame 22. So let's press press S to set a key, and remember I have the main controller there to move everything, and I'm going to do exactly the same that I did before. I am going to go to that last key. That I'm going to do it backwards now. I'm going to create I want it to be on the same pose as it touches the heel, and not slide, not move forward on the translate Z axis, so that it stays there put on that point. So I'm going to go on frame 25, and notice I have keyframe 25 there, and copy that value. So I select it, Control C as in copy, and then click on the frame, on the key on 22 and paste it. So select this section and Control V for paste and press enter. Notice how the character shifts forward, right? And from frame 22 to 25 that heel seems to be anchored on the ground. So let's play it. Let's see how it looks now. Good. There is a little bit of a drag over here. Let me see what's happening. On frame 13, we'll probably, what we can do is move him back a little bit further back. Press S to just have the majority of the, he just goes up and down on the same spot. If you notice, it's kind of looking strange because he goes forward and he kind of leans back, and he looks like he's almost at the same spot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift this a little bit further out and press S on frame 22, and with frame 22 selected, I'm going to middle mouse and go to frame 25th to make sure that that has the same position. So let's see how that looks. He goes forward and still kind of looks like he stays on the same spot. It doesn't look like he's going on a curve. So I think I'm gonna go even further down. So press S to update frame 22, middle mouse, update 25. So let's see how it looks now. We're just visually trying to make sure that he goes on a curve. So he goes from there. It looks better. You see now it looks like he is moving forward until he starts touching ground. Over here is kind of, there is a key. Is there a key over there? No, there's not a key over there. Goes forward. I think the problem might be the feet actually. So let's go select both feet, and probably we might need to edit the curve editor. This is a curve for your feet. There's some over there. I will probably move the feet forward so that it doesn't look as much as, you know, like that. You know, he comes down. Oh, it's probably because these need to be a little bit further down. Let's see if that does the trick. I don't want to lock them entirely, but let's press S on that one, on that pose, to get the feet a little bit more straight. Seems to work better. Okay, so let me close the graph editor and let's take a look. So now our feet, notice that now our feet, if you notice, you know, they go down, they go up. If let's go over here, let's see what happens. We set our first key on frame 5, but in reality this should be a little bit further forward, right? That pose needs to be a little bit more refined, because if he starts pushing his weight on his toes, he should be a little bit further forward. So I'm going to select the node for the spine and shift him a little bit forward. This is where the tweaking starts happening. So I'm going to press S and make that movement a little bit more like he's catching balance. So I'm going to go further forward and press S. We probably might need to add an in-between between 5 and 9. Probably, let's see if that works better. Press S on 9, moving a little bit forward, not as far as this, just kind of in between. It's just, it seems to me that he should be further down on this pose. So press 9, and then as he, yes, that's better. You see, as 5 happens, he keeps moving forward. You see the whole body keeps moving forward. And now 13 needs to be updated. So let's move him a little bit forward. Press S. So he goes forward. And he starts catching. That works much better. Perfect. And then catches the weight with the heel, and the heel stays in place and ends the jump. Perfect. So that's pretty much what we wanted to achieve. And let's go back to the left, the perspective viewport. Let's take a look. Let's go around. Let's see how it looks. And it's a cycle. So what you're going to do now is render up to frame 24. And remember, it's not going to look like a cycle that is in place because we're adding translation to it. But you can go then and do a play blast. Before you do that, make sure that you go show none and then show polygons so that you only have your character. And select an angle where we can see, you know, the movement. I always recommend also to put a floor plane to use as reference on the animation. So this is your finished piece. You can add a little bit more to the fingers, to the hands, the eyes, but now you have created a jump with translation.